Hello everyone, my name's Jason Grant, and just for my own amusement, I'm going to tell you a little bit about consistency. And it was prompted by the fact that a bunch of people today, for some reason, talked about consistency and acting consistent in business to achieve great results. So I actually had to look up the definition of the word consistency to really get into the crux of what it really means. And I would actually submit to you that most people haven't really looked at what the word consistency actually means. So there's two definitions. One says that consistency is the quality of achieving a level of performance which does not vary greatly in quality over time. There's a word quality in there, which is what I would describe as complex value or measure. Second definition of consistency is the way in which a substance holds together, thickness or viscosity. Now, if we talk about the universe and the laws of universe and the way universe kind of seems to work, or at least in our sort of observation, there is this notion that everything's just made out of energy and there's just one force that governs the entire universe. Therefore, everything is by definition, in that sense, consistent by nature, by the nature of creation. So you cannot, by definition of the creation, you cannot act inconsistently. Just by being, you are consistent with the creation itself. I think what people are talking about is consistency in the way they act and behave, and that is a questionable thing of whether you want to be consistent in the way that you act. Here are some reasons why you wouldn't want to be consistent. If you take a look around yourself, I've got a lemon here. Interesting thing. I've got an apple. I've got a banana. It's gone a little bit off, this one. But are these things consistent or inconsistent? And why are they consistent or inconsistent? The point I'm trying to make is that all those things there are interesting in their own ways and attractive in their own ways. One of the things that we find very attractive and experientially amusing, certainly, is the inconsistencies that we observe in the world, and certainly the inconsistencies make life more amusing or interesting. This is the reason why people travel to different parts of the world to see different cultures and different languages and different monuments and different histories and so on. So if we continuously act consistent, we become very predictable. And what that means in business world is that the competition, for example, or other people that are looking to outdo us, find us very predictable, so they can outdo us, and also potentially people find us very boring, because we will always be acting the same. In the respect of self-help or self-improvement, by very definition of that whole notion, you want to become inconsistent with the way you previously acted in order to reach the next level of consciousness. So you actually want to change the way you're acting to become bigger and greater version of yourself. This, by very definition, is inconsistency. It's not consistent with your previous self. And this is where we enter again, once again, the duality and paradox of the universe that we live in. That although consistency sounds like a good idea, like some sort of linear progression in a direction of predictable success and happy outcome, that's not how the universe works. Universe is highly unpredictable and in many respects inconsistent form at this level of what we observe in our, so to speak, physical reality. And that's what is quite fun. So when you're interacting with people, if every person you ever went to, you ask them a question of like, can you do this for me? And they said yes, and everyone was consistent in that respect, that would quickly become very boring to all of us. And similarly, if you were acting very consistent in that respect, you would become very boring to everyone else. Therefore, an element of inconsistency or unpredictability, I would argue, is highly recommended, because that gives you an opportunity to break out of your box and discover some of the unknown unknowns that you previously weren't aware of. So I would say, don't act consistently all the time. Leave an element, at least, in your life, maybe 10 to 20%, whatever it is, to inconsistent behaviors, because you might realize that those inconsistent behaviors lead you to discover your next best self. Thank you very much.